I'll speak to you in tongues, in distant regions, in a language you might understand. I'll tweak the screws with the words I use in ways you would not believe. I'm gonna be the drug you use. No, you won't even be fit to choose. For I am the highwayman. I'm gonna steal your heart any way I can. Dress you up in robes or different cloaks. I will be your king, you'll be my queen. We'll travel carriage with heavy baggage to places you could only dream to see. I'm gonna be the drug you use. No, you won't even be fit to choose. For I am the highwayman. I'm gonna steal your heart any way I can. I'll be your angel's eyes, in truth or in disguise. I'll tear apart the clouds for you, or anything obstructing your view. I'm gonna be the drug you use. No, you won't even be fit to choose. For I am the highwayman. I'm gonna steal your heart any way I can.
That's a song called The Highwayman, which I like very much, from a band from, I do believe, the west of the province. John Edgar Vogue, round about the Enniskillen area, I think they're from. That's from an EP, I suppose you would call it, called Western Notes. I didn't like to tell Noel. What was that?
It was me tearing a piece of paper to give to Emma.
Loud that was.
It was, I didn't mean that.
Emma's back,
I love that
say.
song, by the way.
That's a good song, then.
I'm disappointed people don't send the likes of that to me.
Pardon?
I'm sorry I didn't get a copy of it. How did
You probably did get a copy of
I
it, but
didn't.
Probably don't. People don't send you stuff like that because they feel as if you may throw it in the bin, which I would imagine you would. If someone had sent
love
that to you,
that.
you wouldn't have played it. No, you wouldn't have played it because it wouldn't look familiar to you.
Yeah.
Because there was nobody on it with a cowboy hat on in front of it. That's a cruel thing to say, I know.
Yeah. But
I was-
sometimes the truth.
I
is hardest.
hesitated to tell Nolan what kept me. I thank you for intercepting Nolan's handover. I'm glad you were there. If you hadn't been there, I don't know what would have happened. It would have been an empty space. So thank you for being there for me.
That's all right.
I was caught short.
I'm like your safety net.
You are indeed. Just
You're the man on the high wire.
I was caught short, and I make no bones about that. You know, as time goes on, one is caught short.
Do you know a man I never liked? I forgot to mention this to you.
Go tell me.
No, you remember, you know the story of Barbara Stanwyck. This man was around the same time.
Yes.
And I never warmed to him. I wondered, did you?
All right, then, do you want me to guess who it is?
Yeah.
What we're talking about, just for the benefit of people who have no idea what's going on, there was a time in Mr. Coyle's early development when he went to the movies and discovered cowboy movies and quite liked them. And in particular, he was very fond of Barbara Stanwyck.
No.
Let me just continue. Particularly fond of Barbara Stanwyck. And
Never liked her.
I know, but
No.
you disliked her more when you discovered that she had a chest
Yes, that's what.
of magnificent proportions.
I never liked
Because you
her.
hadn't seen that before, and then she brought it out one night.
Yeah.
And it shocked you, and then you realised that women just weren't men wearing makeup. And indeed, were more than men wearing
Talking
makeup.
of makeup, I want to come back to this. I want to park that for a moment or two. Now, this morning I was out walking.
This morning?
Yeah.
Before the programme? Before you came in
Yeah,
here?
yeah,
Yes.
I had
Or
to-
on your way down here?
No, I had to attend
You're not well today.
I had to attend the doctor.
I know you're not well at all today.
I know.
I see you disintegrating in front of my eyes, and I'm worried about you. I'm worried in case you might disappear into a flurry of hospital beds.
Will he send me to the hospital tomorrow?
What does he say?
Well,
You can talk to me.
I have an appointment. Well, he said, I don't like what I'm looking at.
Well, I don't either.
He
But
said,
it's
I don't
not-
like what I see here. He said, I'm sending you to the hospital.
Well, tell me what you think he saw.
I have no idea. He made me look into the far distant corner of the room, and then he shone a light in my eye.
He didn't like what he saw.
I said,
Well, what is wrong with you? What are your symptoms at the moment? I noticed that your eyes are
blurred
inflamed.
vision.
Indeed, yes. And you've also got a cough.
Yeah, I've had a cold.
And you can't walk right either. I don't know if you noticed that.
I
but
didn't.
You can't.
No.
You're not walking right.
Oh dear.
Anyway, that's
Anyway, a man said to me, this is this morning.
Mm-hmm.
He said to me, he says, "See, your sidekick is still wearing makeup."
What does he mean by that?
Because there's a photograph of you in one of our local papers yesterday, and apparently you have a big orange bake on you.
And that is wrong. That's entirely.
He says you have makeup on you.
Absolutely not. I refute this.
And he said him and his wife they were looking at it last night, and she said that you've got eyeliner on.
Him and his wife were looking at it last night. Well, that's one way to pass the time. There is no eyeliner there at all.
Well,
no makeup of any kind. Let me just tell you this:
Apparently
the
you've
fact
a
that I
big-
am brave, the fact that I am braving the years with some degree of confidence, and the fact that I don't look as elderly as other people who are knocking about, the fact that I've retained some of my elasticity of my skin, the fact that I've retained my good looks, the fact that I don't look old and decrepit. Look at you falling apart. The fact that I remain handsome and virile is nothing to do with.
But I'm a natural colour.
Grey.
Well, it doesn't matter. It's natural.
I know, but-
You're apparently a big orange bake on you the other day getting your photograph taken.
I
You
am
were
a-
sprayed. You were sprayed.
I was not sprayed. I haven't been sprayed for. I stopped being sprayed. I discovered a preparation which negates the need for me to be sprayed. Never mind this. Listen, let's start the program.
No, back to the man.
Right, this
Back
is
to the man who sort of put me off cowboy films as well.
Okay, let me
I
think
never
who this
liked them
might
in
be.
cowboy films.
This is obviously an old cowboy star. Let me think who you would not like.
Go on.
Robert Taylor.
Oh, it's so close.
Really?
I thought you almost had him there.
Gary Cooper. You would
No.
like him because he walks like you.
No, because it starts with an R.
Richard Ryan.
No, I don't. But he's another boy.
Robert Ryan, should I say.
Robert.
You see, this is
I don't like him.
This is the thing we have to be very careful of. You see, there are people listening who have no idea who any of these people are. See, what I'm talking about here are people who were big stars when the likes of you and I were going to cowboy movies. You see, most people, they get over that when they're about 16. But there are another type of person, including yourself, who have never got over it and who still think that the best film ever made was The Magnificent Seven.
No.
It may well be, but you must remember this, that the last remaining member of The Magnificent Seven is now on Coronation
I
Street.
know that.
I find this very
No.
difficult. When I watch Coronation Street and I see Robert Vaughn coming in and I realise that he is the last remaining member of the Magnificent Seven,
Right.
I say to myself, something has gone wrong in this whole scheme of things. Something is not right. And it's not right. It's good, but it's not right. I don't like it. I think he should be taken out of there immediately for his own good because he's in the Rover's Return and he doesn't belong there.
Now, one of my daughters
He was also
loves
he was
black
a-
and white films, the old black and white films.
Well, there's nothing wrong with
Yeah,
that.
but people do like looking back. You don't have to be a certain age to like old black and white films or remember old actors.
No, there are two things. There are two things here which I think we should.
I mean, you
set-
draw the line maybe
No.
perhaps with Jimmy Cagney and people like
No, there
that.
are two things. There are two things that we must
But
separate
Betty
here.
Davis, you know.
There are two things that we must separate here.
Right.
There are those who quite like black and white movies and who every once in a while would take a nostalgic look back, and there are those who have never moved on. You see, you're one of those.
No, I've moved on.
No, you haven't.
I have. I'm looking forward to.
You ever listen to the music you play in your own program?
I'm
I'm
looking-
Time Machine. That's who you are.
Hoover. I'm looking forward to Hoover.
Anyway, listen. Good
Anyway,
morning.
who's the man? Come on, it starts with an R.
Stop this.
No, it starts with an R.
Stop this. There are people waiting for a program here, and there's none coming.
I want to tell you his name.
Good morning, everyone. This is the programme starting now. I'm Gerald Michael Anderson. He in there is someone else. The number to ring if you want to contact this programme is 08459 555 678. He's trying to draw me into a confrontation whereby I try and guess the name of a probably dead cowboy. But you don't care about that. What you want is issues that are concerning you today. What you want to know are things that are happening today, things that will affect your life, because after all, we're under severe economic restraint. We need to get all the information we need, and we need to help the people, help the listeners through this bleak time. The number to ring if you want to contact this programme is 08459 555 678. The email address is gerry.anderson@bbc.co.uk, and the text messaging service is 81771. I want to talk about something now that's important to me. Do you remember
Richard Woodmark.
Is he dead?
I never liked him.
Well, that's okay.
He's the man.
That's okay.
Richard
You're
Woodmark.
quite perfectly entitled never to have liked Richard Woodmark. So can we move on now? The number to ring 08459 555 678. Do you remember, I was just thinking this morning as I looked around me, not in the room that we are upstairs because it doesn't happen there. The BBC has become a very different place now than the place that we came into. Do you remember?
Don't talk to me.
Do you remember people used to sit around and put their feet up in the chairs and smoke and talk and tell jokes and everything? Now they're all standing staring at TV screens. This is all you hear. When you walk into an office in the BBC, this is what you hear.
Oh, reading newspapers.
That's quiet. This is what you hear. That's what you hear.
Yeah.
Remember, you used to hear people talking.
Yeah.
You used to talk about what they did last night. Be lighting cigarettes, be coughing. You know, maybe a wee hangover. Maybe taking some, Coca-Cola Mall, something like that. No, they're just sitting.
I know.
It's no good.
That's
These people are dead.
No, I know.
They're dead.
I know.
They're dead.
No.
Anyway, here's a man who's alive.
There's a call.
Is there? How unusual. Good morning. We take calls. The number is 08459 555 678. We may not do anything with them, but we take them. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Gerry.
How are you today?
I'm fine, sir. Fine.
Good.
Just, I was calling earlier to see when your next vacation was.
Well,
Because,
it's been a while.
and the reason for it, look, I'll give you the reason for it, because I do believe that Sean does play a better quality of music. I know you're sent music and you have to play it and want to, but I don't know where you're coming from sometimes, honestly.
Well, you see, this is common. There's nothing to worry about that. There's nothing wrong with you. You see, I am not like the others. You see, whenever you turn on Hugo and everyone else, including Sean, you know exactly what's coming. What is coming is things that they think that you like. They don't like them, but they think that you like them. So they play all the things that they think you like. In other words, they try to please you. I have never gone down that road because I don't know what people out there like. All I know is what I like. And if what I like it, I play it. And if other people don't like it, it's sad, but, it happens.
So what you're telling us, it's a Gerry Anderson show for Gerry Anderson,
I'm afraid so.
not for the people listening. That's what you're telling me.
I've never made that.
Exactly like that.
I've never made any bones about this.
Great description.
No, well,
I've
there's
never
other
made
people.
any
You're
bone.
here to actually, I would say, entertain the public.
I've never bought into that.
public.
I've never bought into that. See, the BBC is different. See, we're not here to entertain. You see,
But we're all different, Gerry. We're all unique.
No,
We're
I'll tell you
all
what
one.
I'll tell you what I believe in. This is what I believe in. I don't believe in much, but this is what I believe in. Particularly when it comes to music. See, I was always interested in music, and indeed was a professional musician for a long, long time. And I've always come to the conclusion that, you see, the thing that actually that was very, I don't know where this. Yeah, okay, I'm going to say this. I had a great epiphany one time. Something came to me. I was playing in a band once, right? And we used to always be very concerned about the quality of the music, what we should play, and would the people like it or not. And in the band, I was playing guitar at the time, and there was a bass player, and there was a trumpet player, and a saxophone player, and there was a trombone player, and there was an organist, and there was a drummer, and there was a singer.
Is that the Chessmen?
No, another band entirely. I won't name them.
Okay.
And we were playing one time, and for some strange reason, do you know those nights where everything goes wrong? First thing happened, my amplifier packed in, right? So I couldn't play. I was playing, nothing happened. And then there was some kind of short electrical thing. Then the bass player's amplifier packed in, right? And then, for some strange and odd reason, connected with that same electrical fault, the electric piano went out. Right? Everything was electrical.
Yeah, I don't believe this.
Will you stop this? Can you just give me a moment to tell you what happened to me?
Okay.
And then what happened was this thing spread, and then the microphones went down. Right? So all you had was the drummer going. And I looked down. There was about maybe 300-400 people in the hall, and they're all dancing, and none of them noticed. None of them noticed, and they kept dancing. And I realized that all they wanted to hear was a thud.
No, and one of them looked down, and they were dancing with a man with a cloven hood.
I'm not going that way.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going that way.
That's,
No, you're missing the whole point. The whole point is that people don't care what they hear.
that's a lie.
All they hear, if they hear a rhythmic, all they want to hear is this. Listen to Hugo. All they want to hear is this.
Listen to Bill.
Gerry, is what they're saying, then they do turn off to you. They have done for years. People don't listen to you anyway. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is
No,
that
but it comes across.
No, all I'm saying, now, the BBC a long time ago when the world was young, what they used to... Do you ever hear of the dung beetle theory?
Yeah.
The dung... No, you haven't. No, you're just lying to me. You've never heard of the dung beetle. Now, admit you haven't heard of it, and then I'll explain it to you. The dung beetle theory...
Another version of it, maybe?
No, the dung beetle theory was, you see, the BBC would put on a programme like Sunday Night at the London Palladium or something like that. Then they'd put on Steptoe. Then they put on something else that was popular, you know, Only Fools and Horses. And in between all those programmes, they put in a documentary about a dung beetle and about how it, you know, how it lived and how it reproduced and its methods of, you know, propagating its young. And people would watch that because it was in between Only Fools and Horses and Sunday Night at the London Palladium. And then when the BBC looked at the figures, they said, look, all these people are watching this about the dung beetle. That means that, you know, if you put something in the middle that's kind of educational, people will watch it whilst they're waiting for the other thing. So they said, well, we're performing a service here. But then ITV came along and all the others, and everybody stopped watching about the dung beetle, so everything is Strictly Come Dancing now. So the theory that the BBC had, if you put things in that are educational, they suddenly realised that people don't want to be educated, they want to see Strictly Come Dancing. So TV has progressed from that. See, I regard this as a bastion of, well, decency. I like to play people music that I think is some quality, because even though there are maybe, 10 people listening, 9 will not like it, but that one person will say, oh, what is that? I never heard that before.
Gerry?
And that
Gerry,
person...
can I say something?
Sean, explain to him.
Yeah, no,
Gerry.
I think I'm on Bill's side. Let Bill speak.
You're always on Bill's side.
No,
Gerry,
Bill never got a
Gerry,
word in.
I know, but
Gerry.
I'm not finished yet. Sorry, Bill, go ahead.
You sound a man of many talents. Politics seem to come to mind here.
No, I've never
You switched that right round. I mean, an honest answer from an honest question, and it seems to be a story of it's taken us down the road of no return, almost.
Well, of course, there's all kinds of stuff going on. I'll never be a politician because there's a very interesting thing going on now. It's called, and I'm not going to explain what this is, and don't ask me what it is. There's a whole, at the moment, there's a whole kind of mass amnesia happening in Northern Ireland, isn't there, Sean?
Yes.
But we can't talk about that.
Right.
But it's happening. Those of you out there who know what I mean will know that. But see, I can't take part in politics because you know why? Because I can't help but tell the truth. And the last thing that you can do when you're in politics is tell the truth, because once you tell the truth, you're finished. Because punters can't handle it. They have to be told what they want to hear. And it's the same way that people want to hear the music that they want to hear. If you play the music that's quality and good, they don't want to hear it. They want to hear it. So that's why I play it all the time.
It's popular music.
I know, but popular...
Maybe it become because it's popular, maybe because it is. I mean, as I say, I understand there's talent out there and people are trying to push themselves, and I'm all for new sounds and everything coming across, but honestly...
But you see, popularity is a very strange thing, because I know how to be popular. I know exactly how... I could be... If I wanted to be popular, I could be popular. I know how to do it. But I've never had the stomach to do it. You know what to say. Like, Eamon Holmes knows how to be popular. He's the best man in the whole world at knowing how to be popular.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Gerry, can I ask you a question, to be honest with it?
Yes.
Do you listen to this show when you're not actually presenting it yourselves, when maybe Sean's presenting it?
Do I listen to the show when Sean's presenting it? Are you insane? Are you completely out of your mind?
Maybe that's what you're missing. Maybe you're missing that whole point. Maybe you're seeing what it is. You need a change.
Did you hear what he
Well,
just said to me?
A change is good. They say a change is as good as a rest. You know, I mean, kill two birds with one stone.
No, I've heard Dave D. Dozy Beaky Mickentitch before. Zabadak. I've heard all that before. I've heard Little Children. Diddly-dee-dee. I've heard all that before. I don't have to listen to it again. No, it's all right. Now, I understand where you're coming from. You see, popularity is something that you learn how to do it. All the people like Cheryl Cole, they don't know how to be popular. You cry at the right time. Oh, you've really nailed it. That's how to be popular, people, you know, because people identify with you. But I can't do it. I haven't got the stomach for it. And I've always tried. I've never tried to be popular, but I've always tried to figure out what it is that makes people popular. And I know how it works. I can be popular now. But I'm not popular. I'll never be popular. Do you understand what I'm saying? This man's... Do you see the stuff he's getting out of me, Sean?
I think it's very sad.
It's not sad.
I felt for you. No, what I mean is I'm on your side.
But I don't want to be popular because I haven't got the stomach for it. I can't do it. You see, to be
There's
popular...
a wee man sitting in there and, you know, he would like to be popular, but he can't
Do you know what's
be
good?
popular.
Do you know what you should watch? I don't like Jeremy Clarkson. But one of the things I thought was the most wonderful thing ever, The One Show. I happened to glance at The One Show one night, and he was. Do you remember he said something terrible about the people?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Shooting people.
Well,
Yeah.
the people who were
Strikers.
interviewing him. You know, the guy was interviewing him and the girl was interviewing him. They were all going, "Oh, Jeremy, oh, Jeremy, oh, Jeremy," and no, and then he said that, and you want to see their two of their faces dropped because they knew that they were in trouble, but it just dropped for that moment. Then they started to smile again, but their face dropped because they knew that this wasn't going to be popular, and anything that is not popular cannot be tolerated. Eamon Holmes is the best man who'd been popular I ever knew. I remember saying to Eamon one time, and I think he was annoyed, but I like Eamon.
I like Eamon too. We all like Eamon, but I don't think Eamon's a shiny example of people who are popular.
Absolutely, because you've never remembered anything that Eamon has ever said. See,
Yeah,
Eamon.
but there must be somebody else. Eamon.
No, Eamon's the best man I know at becoming popular. He knows how to be popular. He knows exactly what to say. And I said to him one time, I remember saying to him one time, I said, Eamon, do you know what your secret is? And he says, what? I said, nobody has ever remembered a single word you've ever said. And he said, I don't know if that's a compliment or not. I said, yes, it is. Because you will never say anything that's annoying or insulting. You'll always say what the guy who's watching you would like to say if he was there. And therefore you don't remember any of it. Anyway, sorry,
Gerry,
I'm finished now.
Can we get back to the initial question?
I can't remember what the initial question was.
Yeah. When are you next on vacation?
Oh, very soon.
When do you next take leave?
Well, I think, Sean, will you be ready to take over around about maybe perhaps the middle of April, Sean?
I don't know if my health will hold up.
Sean may be dead. Your wife rang up this morning. I told her you were dead. She said, oh dear, that's terrible.
Thank you. That's very kind of you. My wife phoned here to find out how
No,
I got
she was
on
very
with
concerned
doctors.
about you. No,
Yes.
seriously. No, seriously. When I was in our room, you weren't there. And your wife rang up, and I answered your phone. And she said, how's Sean? I said, he died at 9:30.
He told my wife that I had died. That's true, Bill.
She took it really well. Anyway, what does he want? What does he want, this guy? What does this man want?
It wants Dave D, Dozy, Beaky, making.
Well, why don't you play it for him and leave me alone? Tell him to leave me alone. Go on, tell him to leave me alone.
No.
Tell him to leave me alone. I'm going to play music
Gary.
now.
Well,
Alright,
Linda's on too when you're finished.
All right, I'm finished with him now. Go away. Thank you for your contribution, sir. Goodbye. Goodbye. You see, you put him on deliberately.
I did not. It was Emma's man.
Emma's back. I can tell she's back. Anyway, hello.
Hello.
Linda, hello. How are you?
I'm very well, Gerry. How are you?
I don't know yet. I'm being forced down into corners.
You do. You know me rightly. I've been inviting you to the Goal Bug Inn for so long now I can't even remember.
And I haven't arrived yet.
You haven't appeared.
Well, what's going on there these days?
Oh, just the usual. Donald and Susie are still plodding on, and
Sex and drugs and rock and roll?
Ernie and Desi, and everybody's there, and Mervyn, and all the gang's there. Just you're missing.
Well, have you anything coming up in the near future that we need to know about?
Aye, surely. But no, that's not why I'm on now, Gerry.
That's okay.
I wanted to know, it has been driving sisters and I mad for some time now, the name of this film. And you being such a great movie lover.
Yes.
It was, I think the girl was Lana Turner. And she was a fashion designer and she designed a wedding dress.
Girls' blouse.
Now
Yeah.
listen. And then
Yeah.
she was going out, she was having an affair with this man.
Ah, dirty bitch.
Dirty. But anyway, she was
dirty
having an affair
stop
with
out.
this man,
Yeah.
and his wife was very snobby and very affluent.
Uh-huh.
And she jumped into her car after the fashion show and killed herself and him,
Uh-huh.
right? And at the end of it, Lana Turner sitting in a wee pine cottage up in the mountain with the snow falling, all forlorn. And the next thing the door knocks, and in walks his two wee children. Did you ever hear the like of it? And says, Daddy would want us to be here.
We just got a taxi
Well, that
up.
has been driving our Barbara and me crazy.
Uh-huh.
Could you maybe have a wee think in your archives, and I even asked some of the listeners if they would know what the name of this film is?
Okay, I'll have a wee think in my archives. And I'm wondering, Mr. Quad, you would be familiar with that kind of
No,
schmaltz.
Lana Turner, but the name Lana Turner just
Madam X.
Madam X.
Madam
just
X.
Brought
Now,
me back
we've got
to
Madam
Madam
X,
X.
and we've got Imitations of Life.
Oh, I can't watch that.
Oh, it's
Oh,
not
I can't. That's
wonderful.
too much for me. No,
Oh,
I
dear,
was
dear.
told never to watch it.
You're by the doctor.
Oh,
So I don't know. That's so she ends up in a little college and the kid knocking the door. We just got a
Daddy said we was to be with you.
we just got a taxi up,
And she,
Mommy.
of course, welcomed these two big children, but they were made out to be wee children in.
Will you pay the
But it
taxi
was a
fare,
lovely.
Mommy?
It was really a lovely wee film, but we cannot get it. We've looked on the internet, we've looked everywhere, so it mustn't have been that popular. But
Have no fear.
They
Some
don't
of-
make sad movies anymore.
No, they don't.
I think.
they do.
What?
Stepmom.
What's that?
Stepmom was good.
What's that?
Never you mind.
No,
It was,
I think
no,
it was
it
the
was made
last
within
one.
the last
Kramer,
10 years. You
Kramer
wouldn't know
versus
it.
Kramer. Was that not the
Kramer
last?
ver-
Well, that's a recent one. Yeah, it's only 20 years old.
Was
30
that not
maybe.
the last sad movie?
No, well, no, there
The
was
sad
the-
movies all the time, for God's sake.
no,
You
there's
just
not.
you don't go to them. Listen,
Backstreet is called. Backstreet.
it's called Backstreet.
Yeah.
There we are. Backstreet.
Iris said that.
Backstreet it's
Backstreet.
called. Check it out. Google it. Backstreet.
No, it wasn't Backstreet. The name of this movie that you're talking about?
Yeah.
Well, that's what Iris said.
Well, that's only the first stab we've had at it. So try. I mean, you don't think it's Backstreet?
No, because Backstreet. No, she was just an ordinary shop girl, and she fell for this big, dark, handsome fella.
Oh.
And he, of course, brought her up and made her into a fashion designer.
Did he? All right, then we'll try Backstreet,
just
and
something
maybe
like
maybe
what-
perhaps people out there would know what movie that is if it
Maybe
isn't
they would.
Backstreet. And
Maybe they would.
we'll
Well,
tell.
Jerry, the reason I was ringing you as well was because you were able to help me with the 4 dilly danders and 4 stiff standers. So I know Sean loves that wee song, so perhaps you could do your best for me.
What is this about? Stiff danders, dilly danders. Do you know about this?
You played it.
Why don't? What do you mean?
I phoned last year and you very kindly asked your listeners, we were having this discussion in the Gallbog about a wee song that Susie used to sing when she was a wee girl. And it was something like 4 dilly danders and 4 stiff standers and a swish. That was his tale. It was about a cow.
I must have the attention span of
And
a
everybody
goldfish.
phoned in with the right words of it.
Did they? I
Yeah.
have no recollection of that
That's
at
very
all.
good. You know, Jerry, finding out things that you don't know anything about.
But then when I find them out, I completely forget about them and never recall them again.
That's correct.
Anyway, okay, well, we'll try and find out more about that, and if that's the movie, indeed, check it out.
Thank you so much. And could I say hello to everybody in Birdie's Day Nursery? Now, not birdies, birdies.
Birdie's okay. All right, then.
Thank you so much, Jerry.
Not at all. Bye-bye.
Mr. Coyle, I hope you get a good result tomorrow now at the hospital.
So did I.
You may die. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Simon writes to me and he said, I took up PP Slaggert's invitation for Monday's show for the monthly acoustic night in Strabane. No sign of any straitjackets, but he did put on a great show. That's our friend PP Slaggert, great songwriter, and some interesting stories about the ramblings of dangerous Dan McDade. Any chance of hearing a bit more of him in the show or even getting him on? Well, I would have to say that I would like PP Slaggert to come on this programme. I now formally invite him, and I'll give him a ring. Could you please announce that the Main Valley Accordion and Fiddle Club will meet this Wednesday, the 8th of February, in Leonmore House Hotel in Ballymena, beginning at 8 p.m. Special guest is Graham McKay, multi-award-winning accordionist from Inverness. This promises to be a great night's music, and there will also be music from local artists. That sounds like something not to be missed. Be still my beating heart. I shall be... You see, this is what's wrong with this program. No, I can't be nice. No. You see me trying to be nice there? And I just shudder into a whole load of convulsions. Back after the news.
On 92 to 95 FM
and 1341 medium wave.
This is BBC Radio Ulster.
And on the BBC News Desk at 11 o'clock, this is Keith Burnside. The PSNI has said it's investigating an Irish news story which claims a police constable's mobile phone containing sensitive information and photographs has fallen into the hands of dissident Republicans. The paper has published a number of the photographs of the policewoman and PSNI colleagues with their faces blanked out. The story claims the group Oglan Earn got the phone after it was dropped during an arrest operation. Civil servants at Stormont are breaching their own rules and how external consultants are employed. A government review seen by the BBC has highlighted a series of problems. Departments have dramatically reduced their spending on consultants, but a Department of Finance survey has found many projects are still commissioned without tendering, without a proper business case, and are often signed off by officials who don't have the proper authority. A 16-year-old girl has been shot dead in Dublin. The teenager was one of 4 people in a car parked in Tala when shots were fired from a passing vehicle. It happened at around 10:30 last night. The teenager was taken to hospital where she died in the early hours of this morning. The Chief Executive of Royal Bank of Scotland, Stephen Hester, has said he decided to forgo a bonus worth nearly £1 million because it would have been damaging for RBS to take it. In his first broadcast interview since the controversy, he said he briefly considered resigning, but decided to do so would have been indulgent. Mr. Hester defended payments that reward success.
We had to go around the world looking for the best people, not just people to run a bank well, but people to defuse the biggest time bomb in history in terms of bank balance sheet. And those people are doing a good job, if they do a good job, it's our task to make sure there is a connection between the job that the people are doing and, of course, how they get treated.
Reports from the Syrian city of Homs say it's facing a 5th day of heavy shelling by government forces. Activists say more than 40 people have been killed in the latest bombardment, which comes a day after President Assad says he was committed to ending the violence. Now, Nicky's back with sport.
Paddy Wallace will not be part of Ireland's matchday squad for the weekend's Six Nations clash against France. The centre has been released from the Irish camp along with Ulster teammates Chris Henry and Dan Toohey. They're now available for Friday's Pro 12 game against the Dragons. Former All Black John Kerwin says he is interested in speaking to Ulster about the possibility of taking over as head coach next season, but as yet has had no contact with the province. In Gaelic football, Tyrone's Sean O'Neill is preparing to appeal a 12-week ban for verbally abusing a referee while playing for St Mary's in the Sigerson Cup last month. And the England manager Fabio Capello is expected to meet the Football Association chairman David Bernstein later to discuss the decision to strip John Terry of the England captaincy.
And Angie has the weather.
A cold feeling day with a brisk southerly wind and overcast skies. Spells of rain already in the west will spread slowly to remaining parts through the day but may not reach parts of Down and Armagh until the evening rush hour, when there's a risk of the rain leading to a few patches of ice over higher routes in the east. Highs only 5 or 6 Celsius and it will feel colder in the wind and rain.
BBC News.
BBC Radio Ulster. Travel news.
In Armagh, the A29 Keady Road is closed for resurfacing between Ballyards Road and Dundrum Road for the next week. A diversion is in place via Newton Hamilton Road, but this route could add an extra hour to your journey, so be prepared for delays. And we've just had a call to say that traffic's moving slowly between Omagh and Ballygawley. Traffic control is in operation on the A5 Kerr Road at Garvaki, and a 30 mph speed limit is also in place between Roskevy Road and Garvaki Bridge Road. Elian Sutherland reporting.
Travel news on BBC Radio Ulster.
On Talkback with Wendy Austin today, is your whole life on your smartphone? How much would be revealed about you if yours fell into the hands of the wrong people? We'll have the latest on the police officer's phone that Republican dissidents got hold of. Staff at the Royal and the Mater are told if you go for a smoke outside in your scrubs, don't be seen by the public. It doesn't look good. Good advice, but where are they supposed to smoke? We'll be talking about that. And Amanda Holden, she's going back to work just a couple of weeks after having her baby. Is she setting a good example or a bad example to other mothers? When's the right time to go back to work? You can join the debate on Talkback at 12.
I was in a cafe the other day, I won't mention it, but it's a well-known international chain. And I looked outside and there were 2 or 3 tables, outside, and kind of a canopy there, to protect the people from the rain who wanted to go out and drink their coffee al fresco, right? Yeah. And there was a sign beside the table saying, no smoking out here. What's the point of that?
I don't know.
If you sit out in February, right?
I find nothing wrong with that, you see.
Oh, you find nothing wrong with that?
No.
Now, why would a person in February sit outside a cafe in sub-zero temperatures to drink a cup of coffee that he doesn't want and then be told that he can't smoke? The only reason he's out there because he has to be there and because he needs to smoke. And the ultimate coup de grace is to say, you can't smoke out here. Imagine going out there and sitting down and setting yourself down and bringing out your fags and lighting a cigarette and somebody coming out and saying, I'm sorry, sir, you can't smoke here. I would just go off my head. I feel like starting to smoke again just to spite the people. No, I really do feel like that.
Oh, it's you, Henderson.
God.
I feel like it.
I never slept a wink last night.
Good. I'm glad.
I woke at 3 o'clock and I tossed and turned all night long. Thought about everything going through my head, and worries and problems.
You think about your money?
What? What?
But how much you're not getting? I'm the same, I can't lie awake all night thinking about the money I could earn if they'd only give it to me.
You wouldn't think I was sick, would you?
No, you're not sick, you're venal. Here's a nice little song people asked me to play again. It used to be heading a advertising campaign for a well-known beer. I can't mention it, but it's called Tuborg. It's called Something About You. Kevin Welch.
I don't want nobody better off alone. I'm sworn to independence. My heart is made of stone, but you're breaking on through. Oh, there's something about you. I've been tapping my toes to the way you talk. I've been singing along when I watch the way you walk. Baby, I got to do something about you. Well, I got this place of mine, it's nice and quiet and I like it fine. I work real hard, got no time for you. But I've whiskeyed up my coffee cup. I'm sitting here trying not to call you up, and it's getting to where I don't know what to do. Oh, there's something about you. Something about you like distant thunder. But I can't say I ain't been warned. Yeah, but there's no shelter to crawl under. You're ever gonna save me from this storm? Oh, there's something about you that I can't shake. Something about you that's been keeping me awake the whole night through. Something about you. Yeah, I got this life of mine, it's nice and quiet and I like it fine. I work real hard, got no time for you. No, no. But I've whiskeyed up my coffee cup. I'm sitting here trying not to call you up, and it's getting to where I don't know what to do. There's something about you, baby. There's something about you.
What your friends tell me is true. You already know I fancy you. And if what your friends tell me is true, I don't have a chance with you. And yeah, whatever. I know you could do so much better than me. And you're a girl and I'll never get you, 'cause basically you're just too fit for me. The sun comes up to start my day, I get so scared and I don't know what to say. I'm listening to Elton John. It's a little bit funny. You're always in my mind in your song. so scared and I don't know what to say. I'm listening to Elton John. You're always on my mind in your song. And when the sun comes up and I open my eyes, you're the girl I think of, the one that makes me smile, yeah. And then the day goes on and you come my way, yeah. I get so scared and I don't know what to say, yeah. If what my heart tells me is true, basically you're beautiful.
That's No Picture Policy. That's a band that played live in this programme last Friday and proved very, very popular indeed. That's a song they have out at the moment. They're called Bubbles. Some strange messages coming in here from the strange people out there. Here's a gentleman with an unusual idea, Darren. He said, BBC Local Radio tends to have a programme similar to yours on at this time. No, they don't.
BBC
They don't.
what?
No. BBC Local Radio tends to have a programme similar to yours on at this time. No, they don't. Why don't, for a day, don't you swap stations? For instance, why don't you do a show for Radio York? And Radio York's presenters present to the people of Northern Ireland. So for a week, you'll all present to a different part of the country. Can you imagine that? I didn't realise that, you know, and I didn't realise how uniform everything was until a number of years ago. I wrote this book, you see, and it was released, it was published in England. And the publishers asked me to go to, I told you this before, didn't I?
No.
Did I not?
I don't remember.
That's because you're sick. Yeah. Anyway, so they asked me to go and do all these interviews with all the local radio stations. Because what happens is when you publish a book like that, you have a day, and they put you into the bowels of a BBC broadcasting house in London, way down the bottom, B16 they call it. You sit down there, they go in there at 9 o'clock in the morning, you see, and you sit there until 5 o'clock, and they bring you in tea and stuff like that. So what they do is they talk to boys like Alan Simpson all over the whole country. You see, and all these people have all these different programs, Radio York, Radio this, Radio that, Radio the other. And you just do the same interview with everybody. And they ask you the same questions, but I didn't realise how uniform it was. And I went in and I did about 10, 12, and I suddenly realised that it was the same guy talking to me all the time. It was exactly the same guy. But it wasn't, of course, the same guy.
No.
But he was the same guy.
Same question.
Same person. He sounded the same.
Same person, yeah.
And the only person that was different was the guy at Radio Glasgow who hated the book and he didn't like me.
Good.
It was great.
But that's what you want, isn't
exactly.
it? That's what you want.
Exactly. Nothing. Everything was all bland.
But why are the BBC doing it? Why are they trying to make it all the one?
Because did you hear that man that was on to me earlier on? That's what he wanted. He wants people like you on all the time. That has to be avoided at all costs.
Yeah.
I know it's a cruel thing to say,
No,
but you know what I mean.
It's fairly accurate, isn't it?
I know, we don't want people like you on all the time.
No, you do not.
No, I this is not against you, Sean.
No, I know. I'm on your side. I'm fighting for you.
A male dog was found yesterday in the Shaw's Bridge area wearing a black collar of medium size and is a fawn colour.
Is the collar medium size of the dog?
You see, I don't know. It's the way people's standards have slipped.
Yeah.
And the two things strike me there was the collar of medium size, and also if it was wearing a black collar and had a fawn colour, wouldn't that have clashed?
It was Backstreet.
It was Backstreet.
Yeah, it was Susan Haywood.
That's which is not Lana Turner.
No.
Susan Haywood, they're interchangeable in a way. They cry the same.
Yeah.
I think Cheryl Cole should be stuck in there.
What about Drew?
She cries good.
What about Drew's on one?
A dog was lost on Monday the 6th between Runkerry Sandhills and Bushfoot Golf. People are making these up. Runkerry Sandhills and Bushfoot Golf Club. Those are places you never heard of. Near Port Ballantrae. Port Ballantrae! Port Ballantrae is a lovely place. I like it. Do you know what I like? Port Braddon. Have you ever done in Port Braddon?
No.
Port Braddon's near Port Ballantrae. You go down a road way down the bottom, and there's a little cove there, and there's a little tiny, tiny clutch of houses, and a little church, smallest church apparently in the British Isles. Lovely little place. I was down there one time. I looked across on the other shore. I saw a white horse running along the beach.
On its own?
Yeah. I never forget that.
Is that right?
I think it was my spirit. Oh, listen, here's a bulletin about hens.
Do you know what's terrible?
What's
No,
terrible?
I've already talked to you about this before.
Go ahead.
But it's terrible when you're waking up from your sleep.
Your deserved
all of
sleep,
a sudden,
the sleep of the
You
innocent.
know when you like I did this morning, 3:00, bright as a bee,
Mhm.
boom,
Boom, huh?
and you
Yeah.
can't, and you toss and you turn and you want to get up and you're lying down and I wish it was time to get up, and it's a terrible old feeling, isn't it? I want to get this off my chest.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm turning to you. You understand?
I know. Turn to me.
I know. I'm reaching out.
I see you.
I'm reaching out.
Go
I
on.
need a shoulder.
Emma's got a good one in there.
See?
I've been
See?
trying to get that
See?
for ages.
Turn to the wrong.
Right, okay.
What about Drew, then, if you're ignoring me?
Emma has all kinds of things in there that you could lean on. What do you want? No, come on.
No.
I'm just trying to lighten it up a bit.
No, you're making fun of
I'm
me.
not.
You are.
I'm not making fun of you. Tell me what it is you want.
You know him.
I know you can't have any more children. I know that.
What about-
apart from that, what is it?
What about Drew?
No, what about Drew?
No.
Are you in love with him? What's wrong? No, seriously, what's wrong with you?
No, I'm forgetting about me now.
No, I'm not forgetting
No, I
about
know,
you.
please.
No, it's important that you...
Please.
Please.
Do men still buy hankies?
No, they don't.
Remember you used to buy...
I never bought a hanky in my life.
It should be a shilling.
I never bought it. Did you buy a hanky?
No, Dad remember men used to have hankies? And
I never had a hanky.
And you had your initial on it? Do you remember?
Monogrammed hanky. I never had a hanky. I never used one. I always thought they were dirty, filthy things.
Oh, I think they're disgusting.
You blow your nose and then put it back in your pocket.
Oh, horrible.
For
The
God's
whole
sake.
principle of it's wrong. But there was a time...
You don't see women doing that.
There
Blowing
was a
their nose.
time when a man wouldn't have left the house without a hanky.
I did.
A clean white hanky. And it used to be ironed and
I-
folded.
I never had one.
And the man would put it either in his breast pocket...
I
or-
never had one. Tell me, explain that to me. Why did I never get one? I never had a hanky in my life.
But surely your father had hankies?
I don't know. I can't vouch for him.
Had any of your brothers hankies?
I don't know. All I know is I didn't care about hankies, except that I knew I hadn't got one. Here, listen. There are hens here looking for homes.
What about Drew?
I'll talk to Drew. Where is he?
One.
Good morning, Drew.
Good morning, Gerry.
Sorry for keeping you there. How are you?
You're fine. No, there's a lady on there, she mentioned, she quoted something about 4-step standards for delayed angers.
Yes.
Lines of a song.
Uh-huh.
Well, I'm sort of familiar with that. It's a wee song about a cow.
Yes.
And it goes 4-step standards, 4 delayed angers, 2 lookers, 2 crookers, a licker and a switcher.
Oh, it's describing the cow.
I'm afraid to ask him what that means.
You know exactly what it means.
I know what it means, but I'm tired.
The udder, the horns, the tail, the
eyes,
eyes,
the tongue.
The tongue.
Did I deal with this at some length at some other stage?
Apparently you did.
I wonder what was
Stop
wrong.
picking your nose.
Ah, correct. You're not supposed to say that.
That's disgusting, so
People
it is.
don't-
Look,
People don't know I'm doing it.
but I can see I'm sitting looking at you.
Well, don't be telling them I'm
They're
doing
coming
it.
from the doctors. Stop that. You're up in the other nostril now.
Hang on,
Leave yourself alone.
I've nearly got this bit.
Emma, don't look in. You'll be like Lot's wife.
She'll turn into pepper. Yes?
Gerry.
Yes.
I wonder, did you ever do anything about your hair?
Go ahead.
What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
To make it grow more vigorously. I was on to you one day about a travelling man many years ago used to cook a hedgehog and rub the extraction of the juice on his hair. That seemed to make his hair grow.
I'm a great fan of hedgehog juice, I have to say. I came across this before, but I don't know how you get juice out of a hedgehog. And indeed, if you do get juice out of a hedgehog, I think the hedgehog would protest.
You're up the hedgehog in clay.
But how does the hedgehog feel about that?
I thought the hedgehog peed on your head.
Maybe,
say he was very pleased.
He
The
would do it if
hedgehog
he has
was
any
the
sense at all. What was that?
He dispatched the hedgehog.
You what?
He dispatched the hedgehog, then he wrapped it in clay.
Yes, you.
And then he baked it in the fire. But he left a little hole at the end of the clay, and the juices that ran out from it, he caught it in a wee tin mug.
I think we would call that essence of hedgehog.
That would be right.
So you catch the essence of hedgehog in a wee tin mug and you put it on your head and it's supposed to stimulate hair growth.
The way you used to put bay rum
That's
in
right.
your hair.
That's right. I don't feel any need for that. I've got a laser cap.
Well, then maybe some of your listeners might have a need for it. I don't know. But there's another thing I was going to say to you. I sent you a wee poem You read it out there one day
Yes.
about the North American Alistair Cook sort of thing.
Oh, yeah, I think I remember that. Yeah, I do, yeah.
You modified the last line. I noticed.
Well, I wonder why I did that. It must have been dirty, was it?
No, it wasn't. Maybe not to everybody's taste, but you were very clever. You modified it very well.
All right, then. Thank
I
you
hope you
very
enjoyed
much. Thank you. Good man. Thank you very much indeed. Don't you worry about my hair. Everything's under control.
That's fine. There's a strong wind today. Keep it all tacked down.
Go away.
Right.
You don't know about my laser
There's a
cam.
coil
You
on.
don't-
There's a coil.
A coil on? You don't know about my laser cap, do you?
Coil on too.
You don't know about my laser
Your
cap.
laser camp?
Cap.
Cap?
You don't know about it. I can't really talk about it because it's a thing that'll be on television quite soon.
It's got to do with your TV program, your transplant program.
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
What?
I've got the greatest thing. Let's see if I bring this in. You'll never forget it as long as you live. It's the greatest thing ever. I have it at home. I'm keeping it as the ultimate weapon. Do you know what it is? It's a conversation stopper. It's a laser cam.
What does it restore your hair?
Yes, it does. No, it doesn't restore your hair, but it stops any hair remaining falling out. It stops hair growth. It stops hair loss.
Too late for some.
No, it's not too late for some. It's not too late for you. You mean it's too late for you? No, it's not. You've lost not too much. No, it slows down hair loss.
Yeah.
But you want to see it.
What? Do you wear it?
Yeah, you do.
And is it plugged in? Is there a big lead on it?
It's a battery.
And do you carry the battery with you?
Put it in your pocket. It's inside a baseball cap.
I want to see it.
I know you do.
Please bring it in.
No.
Would you not appear with? Would you not go on with? See, I'm getting excited now. With Noel. Would you not wear it in Noel's program?
No, I'm not going to throw it away on Noel.
Oh, don't say that. Would you not wear it in Noel?
I'm not going to throw it away on a news program. No,
Oh.
You'll see it on TV soon enough. You'll see it. You've no idea what I've been up to when you see this thing.
But
You'll want one. It's very expensive.
I don't want one.
Yes, you do.
How did you get it?
I got it. It was given to me by a man who was very generous.
But how would you know it's working? How do you know it's working?
I know all about it. I can't talk about it.
You see no,
I'm just teasing you.
You see a man who's going bald. No, let's just say a man who's losing his hair.
Yes.
Right.
That's the same thing as going bald.
Right.
Isn't
Yeah.
it?
No, but I'm trying to soften this as
Soften the
best
blow,
I
yeah.
can.
Mhm.
Does that man find hair on his pillow when he wakens in the morning?
Well, there are a number of stages.
How does a
Yeah, okay, let me just explain. You know this rightly because it has happened to you because you're pretending now that you have no experience of hair loss, which is a lie.
You would see the odd hair in the shower.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Well, let me tell you what most people experience is. I've studied this, of course, at great length. What happens is a man with a normal head of hair and maybe perhaps, a man maybe starts balding, maybe he's about 40, something like that. But, sometimes it happens like that. Some people go bald a little earlier, start to lose their hair a little earlier, some later. Some don't lose it any at all. First of all, you notice it in the bath.
Was that right?
Yes.
Right? The bath?
Round the plug hole. If you have a bath. You
still
don't notice it in the shower so
You
much.
still bath?
I'm saying that people who still have a bath, yeah, but see, I like a bath because it's relaxing. I get wired up in a shower.
All right.
Especially when you're on your own, I have to say I'm getting desperate now, says Barbara. Since I sent you the CD and requested you to play Walking in Circles...
I don't believe you.
What are you talking about?
I said it there. How much does it cost, Emma? What? Doesn't say. I said it's what he's wearing there.
Did you see one?
It's on. We've got it on the TV here.
I know. I have one of those.
You have not. Don't you dare wear that. No. The man's there. Oh, please. Oh, look. The big light. It's like copper.
Don't describe it.
No, it's like copper.
Don't describe it.
And look at
Don't
this.
describe
The
it.
man is wearing it's got a full head of hair. Doesn't need it.
Don't describe it.
Why not?
Because I'm keeping this for the people. You must not describe it. Believe me. I have one of these at home.
Oh, you're
It's the
wearing
only
it.
one in the British Isles. That's American's website, isn't it?
Yes, Emma says yes. I don't know. Right.
Absolutely. They haven't reached here yet. I have the only one. I'm the only one knows how that works.
So you're the first man.
Yes.
Do you realise that'll be a quiz question in a couple of years' time?
Absolutely. Who's the first man to wear a laser cap?
Who's the first man to own a video in Britain? The answer to that is...
Oh, no, I know that.
Yes, you know that.
Bob Monkhouse.
No, Ringo Starr.
You ruined that.
I know.
Since I sent you the CD and requested you to play Walking in Circles, I have promised my blind house hen, Cruella, that you would play it for her. She's been listening each day and getting more and more distressed that she hasn't heard it. Last night it all came to a head and she stated she's going to walk to Derry to approach you in person to get you to take pity on her and the thousands of others not-so-lucky battery hens. This morning she packed her little rucksack and grabbed a warm hen jumper and insisted on heading off to, well, the Maiden City. Off she headed with a small bag of mealworms and some mixed corn. This walk will be a huge task for her for many reasons, not least that she is blind. She might wander into the Republic of Ireland and encounter grey skies. She has packed her portable radio and vowed to return home if you play the record. It may take her months to arrive there, as being blind and also being a hen, she won't be able to cover a lot of ground each day. But now, by now, she'll probably be at the top of the driveway, and by this time tomorrow she may have made it to the end of Nut Hill Road, but only if she keeps walking through the night. Please enable my Cruella to return home. Please play Walking in Circles, the CD I sent you. Well, I can't have a hen wandering around there, endangering its feathers. I don't know where that Walking in Circles CD is, but I'll tell you what I'll do. When I go upstairs, I shall look for this with every power of my being. Oh, and here's a person inquiring about a member of staff.
Apparently.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't like to.
You're slurring again.
No, I don't want to read this out because I think I'd rather send it in to you.
Go on, read it out. Go on.
That's
warts and all. Go on, read it out.
No, it's not really about you.
Well, don't read it out then.
It's apparently every time, you know.
It's what?
You lose hair.
You do not.
Oh, well, that's what it says. That's what the man said.
That explains your lack of hair loss. Can you possibly throw a little light? Now, this is an inquiry about a person who works
for you.
I know that. Here's a little inquiry about a person who works in this program on a temporary basis. Emma is back.
Mm-hmm.
Could you please throw a little light on your new assistant, Thomasina?
Yes.
Her name throws up images of an English rose, probably went to public school, played hockey with the girls, more than likely drives a Mini Cooper, hangs out in fashionable wine bars in Knightsbridge with the chaps and the girls. Then got the word she was being transferred to BBC Derry / Londonderry for the stint in the colonies. Gerry, you still taking part in the New York Marathon? Do you know what I'm going to do this year? Yeah. Guess what I'm going to do. I did the marathon last year and it was a wee bit too...
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You entered the marathon last year.
Said the man who was standing with his coat on with his hands in his pockets.
I didn't enter the marathon.
At least I tried. I'm going to do something. I'm going to do something.
That I go further than you.
I'm going to do something this year that I can do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to trek across Cuba.
Get a grip.
I am.
I've heard that before.
I'm going to do
it.
it.
Over the time you're going around the walls of China on a bicycle?
No, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
And then you were going somewhere to light bonfires and sing Ging Gang Gooly Gooly Watcha Ging Gang Goo.
I didn't go because I don't Town Road, Hollybrook. So that's a wee sick dog. So please look out for it. And could you please play a request for my husband Kevin Fields, who's 40 years old today? If you could please play Sweet 16, The Furies, or The Voyage by Christy Moore from his wife Lisa and the new baby daughter Aoife Marie. Thanks, Gerry. He listens every day doing his deliveries. Well, congratulations, Kevin. Happy birthday. What have you got here? There's 16. Have you got 16, Sweet 16 by The Furies?
I think it's in your pile, your core. I think it's
Could you get it for me?
We can get it.
Right.
What about Richard, who's waiting patiently on 2?
Please play Cows with Guns. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
It's a long time ago. Where is he?
2. He's waiting 12 minutes.
That's a long time. Hello, good morning, sir. I'm sorry.
Good morning, Gerry.
Sorry to keep you like that.
Okay, you're blathering away there as usual. Listen, I'll tell you what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a record by a fella called George Jones. You know the American singer?
Great singer.
George Jones.
Great singer.
Now, I have heard this once on the radio, and I can't get a copy of it. I've even been to your friend in Ballyclare, and he hasn't got it.
Bert
Never
McCormick?
heard of it, he says.
Bert McCormick doesn't have it?
He hasn't it.
Well, what is it, I wonder?
It's to the tune of Please Release Me.
Yes?
But it's gospel words. It's a gospel record made by this fellow George Jones, and I heard it one night on that other station, you know, that you won't listen to, you know, Downtown Radio.
Oh, be still my beating
like that,
heart,
you know,
yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I listen to foreign programs sometimes. Yes. But anyway, listen.
Dougie Marshall on again.
if you could get your hands on it, I would love you to play it sometime because I have a blind friend. Now it's funny that you were talking about the blind chicken a minute ago, but this is genuine. This lady lives in Stornoway in Isle of Lewis, and I record stuff for her. She likes country and western music and stuff, and I record stuff for her and send it to her. And I would love to send this to her if I could get it. But if you could get it some morning, play it for me, and I'll record it.
George Jones,
and it's to the tune of Please Release Me.
Please release me, let me go.
It. Yes.
But with...
It's coming on rain here now.
Is it?
It is.
That's good.
Just in the last couple of minutes, it just started to rain here.
Thank you for that weather report. Thank you very much. We'll get that for
Listen,
you.
Gerry,
No, we
thanks
can't
very
get it.
much.
How are we going to get it?
I'm lying to him.
What?
Can't you see I'm lying
What was
to
that?
him? Sorry.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that, Richard?
I heard it.
Did you hear that,
I
Richard?
heard it. Then you see the next time he's up in the Ballyselling Road in Belfast, I'll puncture his tyres.
Yes. So, Richard, have you any words from the song? Have you a line even?
No, the only thing is that the first line of it is the same, please release me. But it's from sin and all that, you know.
Please release me from this sin.
That's something like that, yes, Gerry.
Well, look, George Jones, release me.
How's your father? Your mother's not in.
Your man in Ballyclare, he looked it up on the internet and he couldn't get it for me. I was in his shop. I went into the shop to see him. And he said he had never heard of it.
Well, sorry, Richard. We have a song here, George Jones, "Release Me from Sin."
That's probably it.
Will we look up? Will we get that for you?
Yeah. Well, listen. Like, when could you play it, bud?
Well, that's entirely up to Mr. Anderson in there.
Well, could you play it before 12 o'clock?
Well, I'll stall the wedding to see if we can get it here on Jukebox.
Right, go ahead.
Now, just can you wait for a moment?
Oh, I can hold on. Yes. I'm doing nothing.
If Gerry doesn't mind.
I'm like yourselves. I'm doing nothing.
Well, you don't mind, Gerry, do you? No, Gerry's not speaking to us.
Is he not?
Emma made a little mistake. She typed in using capital letters, and now we're just a little delay. What? No. What is it, Emma? Doesn't seem to find. Oh, what's that? On the jukebox? We're searching the jukebox for it, Richard. Right. And if we get it, we'll send it to Mr. Anderson.
Yes.
And if he decides to play it, then that's
right.
Well, it's up to him, isn't it?
So I'll listen attentively to your program
for the next 20 minutes.
Okay. And then I'll listen tomorrow too.
Yes.
Yes.
That's a good idea. Yes.
Oh, yes.
That's good, man.
I'm a dedicated listener.
Good man. Good man. He's not speaking to us.
That's
Richard.
all right. Tell him I was only joking about puncturing his tyres.
All right, then. Yes. Okay. Come on, Gerry. Speak to us. Come on. How's a wee man?
Don't cry.
Day? How's a wee man today? Come on, Gerry. Coming out
Thank you very
much. How's a wee man today? How's a wee man?
Shut up.
Raindrops cling to the branches. The sun makes them diamonds at dawn. The birds sing a song for the whole world to hear. Nature, she just carries on. The winter's retreating, defeated by spring. Oh, how I wish I'd no care. I live in the hope you'll return across the sea, to the Burren, to me, and to Clare. Ah, but is it the memory of the summer I taste? You think now that would be long gone, as I lie in my bed in the morning alone. I'm without you in sweet Ballyvaughan. The gentians, they're blooming an ocean of blue, as the orchids get ready to dance. The fields are all turning themselves into green. Still all my thoughts are on France. The winter's retreating, defeated by spring. Oh, how I wish I'd no care. I live in the hope you'll return across the sea, to the Burren, to me, and to Clare. A fiddler's air brings a tear to my eyes, as the pipes tear the soul from my breast. I can still hear your voice, oh, the ocean's so clear. Since you left me, my soul has known no rest. The winter's retreating, defeated by spring. Oh, how I wish I'd no care. I live in the hope you'll return across the sea, to the Burren, to me, and to Clare. Oh, is it the memory of the summer I taste? You think now that would be long gone, as I lie in my bed in the morning alone. I'm without you in sweet Ballyvaughan. Blackbird sing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life you were only waiting for this moment to arise. Blackbird sing in the dead of night. Take these sunken eyes and learn to see. All your life you were only waiting for this moment to be free. Blackbird fly, blackbird fly, into the light of the dark night. Blackbird fly, blackbird fly, into the light of the dark night. All your life you were only waiting for this moment to arise. You were only waiting for this moment to arise. You were only waiting for this moment to arise.
That's two singers who were raised under the grey skies of an Irish Republic, as opposed to us blessed ones who were nurtured under the blue skies of
Who was that first singer?
Can you hear me talking here?
Oh, sorry, I wasn't listening to you.
It was Sean Tyrrell, Tyrrell.
The first singer?
The first singer, Sean Tyrrell.
Oh, that's a lovely song.
Sweet Ballyvaughan.
That's lovely.
Sweet Ballyvaughan.
I loved his voice.
And the second
song.
Yeah, lovely song. I love that. And the second one was, of course, Sean Keane, you know? Sean Keane from Galway.
That was all right, just.
Blackbird.
Yeah.
Lake Ball singing in the dead of night.
When you hear McCartney singing that, after that, it's...
Okay, well, let me just tell you this. That is from a special album that was made by George Martin. George Martin picked the people he thought would most well sing songs.
Yes,
He picked Sean King.
George Martin, yes. You
George
can't
Martin.
argue with George Martin. But, I mean, you're allowed...
I prefer that version.
Well, okay, I prefer Paul McCartney.
I know, let's agree to differ.
Yeah, okay.
Can you not give me a little space here? Cut me a little slack?
Is there a wee phone call?
I don't know.
There is.
Richard Woodmark. I hate him too.
I couldn't tell you Richard Woodmark phone.
Tell Sean not to buy any long records. You might not hear the end of them. Man, forecasting your imminent doom. I'll send Sean a copy of John Edgar Vaux, but you better play it. It'll be in the post tomorrow with you on Friday. There you are. You open your mouth. You might be here on Friday.
Why not?
You're not going away to be doctored.
Yeah.
You mentioned your daughter liked old films. I'm 30 and I like them also, but I also like this radio show and feel as if I shouldn't because I'm too young. My friends laugh because I listen to you. That's a terrible thing.
That's hateful.
You know, I really do believe that that's a wrong and hurtful thing to say. Because many students listen to this programme. Nobody laughs at them. You play what you like, Gerry. It's a great show, said Trevor in Florence Court. I listen to the show daily and enjoy it very much. I'm wondering if Geordie is well, as we haven't heard him on your show for a while. When was the last time Geordie was on?
Geordie's waiting to talk to you.
No, at the moment?
Not now, no, but late, before the end of the programme. Where's Florence Court?
What? Florence Court? I'm not quite sure. A gentleman...
Is it near Barron's Court?
I don't think so.
Right.
I think it's a coincidence. They sound the same.
Yeah.
A gentleman talking about the caller I had before the programme, who was complaining about the music I played, so tell him to piss off. I can't do that.
Shocking language.
Can't do that. Gerry, prove the last guy, Bill, that you're not devoid of musical scruples by playing Neil Young's electric version of Powderfinger. Well, I'm very fond of Neil Young's electric version of Powderfinger. I haven't played that in this programme. That's another ambition for me. Gerry, I see you're still on the pedestal. Sorry, I see you're still on the pedestal of the pedantic reverie that you so self-indulgently peddle for your own self-aggrandizement. Go back to Radio 4. It's a man who doesn't like me. Gerry, tell the Wallies out there that you are not like the others. You don't have an ego. Well, you know that's not true.
I would say that man's right.
I don't have an ego.
No, you don't?
I'm an ordinary man.
Yeah.
I'm an ordinary man.
No. Ego doesn't come into this programme at all.
It doesn't.
No, there's no ego.
Do you know what we say to the ego when it comes in? Stay outside this door.
Yeah, that's
Stay
right.
outside this door, Mr. Ego. Mr. Ego, there's no place for you here.
No.
Stand outside with the others.
We're not at home to Mr. Ego.
We're not at home to Mr. Ego today. Mr. Otis regrets he's unable to lunch with Mr. Ego today.
Yeah.
Gerry, when it comes to playing a tune, you like to thrash the living daylights out of them and then move on and roll out another ball of dung beetle that you spin around in the life cycle of crap starts over again. Whatever happened to Housebound, Honey, Sailor Town, Love and Happiness, Gerry, you made them popular. Then upon realisation, you dropped them like hot potatoes. Now, that's a very unusual thing. Let me explain
That man's right.
But you can't just keep playing things all the time.
No, but that man is right. But you did the point that I picked up on that was that you did introduce us. You introduced us to Sailor Town.
Yes.
You introduced us to
And
Housebound
Anthony
Honey.
Toner's playing live in this programme on Friday.
Right. You introduced us to Love and Happiness.
Yes.
What other one did you mention there? There's several songs.
The national anthem.
No, there's several songs that you did.
Yes.
Introduce to.
So what you do is you introduce the people and then you say this is good.
There.
And then the people
but the
say
man's right. Then you just drop them and people phone in and say, Gerry, please play that again. You said no. I'm moving on.
No, but you see, what you do is introducing means, the word means introducing. So what you do is you say, here's a new singer, he's got a nice song, have a listen to that. And then you play the crap out of it, as the man says. And then you wait for the person to do something else. And, that person is then aware of that singer and will keep an eye out for him. And then if that person is appearing at a public appearance, the person will go along and see them. You can't just keep playing the same song all the time unless it's really, really good. I think Sean should try to find a record called What in the World by Alan D. Do you know who Alan D is?
I don't.
Alan D was the lead singer in the Chessmen when I joined them. Great
Is
song.
that What in the World's Come Over You?
What in the world
Jack Scott
come over you? Well, he did a cover version of that. I used to play that. I used to back him.
I think on the B side of it was Burning Bridges.
Seems we never get along.
Yes.
A sad film recently that you missed, Marley and Me. It's about a dog. Did you see Marley and Me?
No, if it's about a dog, I couldn't watch it. Too sad.
The dog doesn't die in the end. It's okay.
What about Fancies on one?
Fancy? This is on one's Fancy. There's a Patsy Barney. Who is it? Fancy?
Fancy.
There's a Fancy. Are you sure it's Fancy?
Definitely.
Sometimes Patsy rings up pretending letting on to be Patsy. And sometimes Barney rings up and that, a bit of a game, a bit of crack there. As you know, especially when Tyrone's playing the Sunday. Patsy rings up and says, I'm Barney. And I say, that's not Barney, that's Patsy. He says, no, it's Fonzie. And then he says, Fonzie, Barney, Patsy. You never know what the one or the other because, you see, Fonzie looks after the electrics. No, it's wrong, Barney. Barney looks after the electrics. Fonzie does the engines. And Patsy looks after the bodywork. See if you need a bit of panel beating, go to Patsy. See if you got, one of these scumbags there. You know, they're running along there with their keys and they're scoring your car there. You know, you ever get your car scored by a scumbag? Bring it down to Patsy. He'll cut it. Be brand new at the end of it. You don't know there were no scumbag near it. Why do I do that? I don't know.
There's well raven airs in your bed.
Ach, you're no fun. I remember you used to be fun when you were healthy.
What was it somebody said to you one day in this programme about being raven? What did they say? Did it come out with a great expression?
I think I remember it.
What was that?
No, I don't think I'll repeat it.
That was all right.
It wasn't. I didn't like it. Anyway, good morning, sir, madam, or whoever.
Morning there, Gerry. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you.
How do you know Patsy?
Patsy, I met Fonzie. I had a job done on the car, and I was a bit of panel beating, and Patsy was there, looking over and going, my shoulder going like that.
Oh,
cheers, boys, that'll cost you a pounder.
Good worker, Gerry.
Fonzie, tell me about yourself. I've talked to you before, of course. Tell me what you're up to.
Well, Gerry, I'm just struggling on. I haven't been talking to you now since before you went away to America to do the marathon.
That's right, yes.
I'm glad you took my advice, anyway.
What was that?
You lay down when it was getting a bit tight for you.
Well, you see, I've always regarded myself as not being a man who will see the thing through.
Well, that's just for your right, Gerry.
At the first sign of discomfiture, one should stop. What do you want anyway?
Did you not bother with the Vaseline, Gerry? Did I tell you to do?
I didn't bother with the Vaseline because some people misinterpret that.
But it stops the scourging, Gerry.
I know that. I didn't go near it. I don't like the smell of it.
Gerry, you know what I've come to discover?
What?
There is two Granny Greybeards. You know Granny Greybeard there in Workswear Buffy?
Yes.
That's what Mary calls him, the wife. She calls him Granny Greybeard.
Yes.
You know where that is, Gerry?
I don't know, no.
Did you ever see one of them wee caterpillars you get across the road there, wee black furry boys?
Oh, I think I know the furry boys, yes.
A Granny Greybeard.
That's what they're called.
That's what they're called, Gerry. And Mary, my wife, she calls your mate there, that sidekick of yours, Granny Greybeard. That's what she says. It reminds her, he reminds her in a Granny Greybeard because of the one eyebrow, you see.
Kick a guy when he's down, talking about his eyebrow.
I'm sorry you had to hear that, Sean.
I discovered, Gerry, there's two Granny Greybeards.
Uh-huh.
There's two Seans. See, when you're not there,
uh-huh,
it's a totally different Sean. He's a sort of more backward, shy, maybe a wee bit nervous sort of Sean.
Well,
and then when you're there, he's all cocky and confident and shouting and talking over the top of you and calling you liars and doesn't let you finish your stories. And then when you're not there, he's like, okay, we've got a little song here for Margaret. We're going to put on Chicken Stevens.
That's a fairly good impersonation, that.
That's good.
That's him, Gerry.
I know that, yeah. I'm glad you noticed that, because I noticed this too, but I didn't like to mention it.
Well, I think it's the time somebody put down their foot, Gerry, and says to him, stop butting in there, Sean, for, you're coming some purple stuff.
I know, you see, I'm not appreciated. I'm casting my pearl before swine.
Social anthropology, Gerry, that's what it's all about.
And that's hard to say, isn't it?
I do it this time in the morning, too.
Well, listen, Fonzie, we're going to have to go now. I want to talk to you again tomorrow because there are other things I must put to you. I must ask you about your various probings. Okay, go away now. Thank you very much. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Great show yesterday, kid. A great show which made many people ponder and ruminate on the logistic effort required in putting on such a great show. See, a lot of people don't realise how difficult it is to put on a show like this. Here are just some of the tweets I've received after the great show. It made me want to yank out my catheter and dance, says Bob from Grimsport. Mrs. Tuna from Kilkeel said, I felt as if my gizzard would explode. Dr. Bunting, it brought a smile to my cheeks, upper and lower. Geordie Tuft, the great show goes down well with cooking sherry, which I drink every day. High praise indeed, especially from Geordie, who is annoyed beyond belief at the soaring price of goats being serviced. Tommy, my cat, took a ball of string out and ran outside. 5 minutes later, he came running back and said, 9 feet 7 inches. What is, I said? The length of a piece of string, said Tommy. I made a note on my Mayan calendar, which for some strange reason ends abruptly on the 5th of May, and I said, let's have a little treat. Peel a banana whilst I do the splits. From a distance, who did I see coming but Stephen Nolan, looking like a dust storm. Soon he stood before me, quivering all over like a highly strung Arab stallion. I slipped a piece of sugar into his mouth and said, "Hello, Bluto. There's a rumour going around the coffee houses and DLA offices that your radio show is going down the tubes faster than a particle in the Higgs-Bison hadronic collisions thing." "Rubbish," said Stephen. "I'm a household name here and on the mainland. They call me Steve there. I'm the biggest thing to hit radio since Cat Whiskers. Groups of middle-aged women follow me everywhere I go, screaming, 'Stephen, make a farting sound with your oxter.' Who could replace me? I'm the big daddy of the airwaves." I borrowed a stool, clambered onto it, whispered it into his ear. "There's a whisper going around Broadcasting House that the BBC have Walter Love up on a ramp, where he is being repaired, oiled and greased by a group of ancient broadcasting enthusiasts who are trying to restore Walter to his former glory." "Infamy!" roared Stephen. "They've all got it. If Walter Love dares to take the food out of my mouth, I'll inform the BBC about Walter's flirting with Nell Gwynn at the back of the Globe Theatre during a number of centuries." I went on my way, happy in the thought that soon Stephen Nolan and Walter Love will be fighting like a manatee and a pike. "Don't tell him your name, Pike! Don't!" Oh, we have to go early today, right?
Yes.
At 5 to 12, there'll be another little story about Billy. I watched...
Is this the Friday song?
What?
Is this the Friday tune, the tune I was looking for? Is this Wooly Drennan?
No.
You.
I'm working like a dog just to keep her satisfied. She's been spending all my money just as fast as I provide. My life's a living hell when it used to be like heaven. She keeps my nose to the grindstone 24/7. You wouldn't treat a dog like that. No, you wouldn't treat a dog like that. You wouldn't treat a dog like that. No, no. You wouldn't treat a dog like that. Once upon a time, I was a happy kind of guy. I never had a worry or a teardrop in my eye. And since I met you, baby, I'm just fit to be tied. I work my fingers to the bone just to keep you satisfied. I wouldn't treat a dog like that. No, you wouldn't treat a dog like that. You wouldn't treat a dog like that. Ah, you know, man. You wouldn't treat a dog like that.
The Mighty Mojos.